Erik Weiseth, and I've been in the outfitting industry, specifically kind of in the river space for 22 years as an outfitter and as a guide, offering river trips and trail trips that are raft supported and fishing trips, drift boat-based fishing trips. And we've kind of done trips all throughout the West and really the world. All of the reasons that people want to digitize their waivers, like paper is expensive, it's a pain in the butt, you've got to make sure you have them on hand, they get lost, they get destroyed, you need to store them, and then if you discover 6 months later you have to go back and find one, that's a freaking nightmare. It's easy to miss people in the shuffle. You're out at the river. Like, my favorite is, you're out at the river and you're trying, you got some 19-year-old guide you send out to run the trip, and you're trusting them to be able to, at a boat ramp somewhere, get people to sign things, have pens, have the forms, not lose them in the shuffle, all of those kinds of things. And so, it's a better part of the system. You want to, 1, make sure they're all signed, 2, make sure they're stored correctly, 3, make sure you can find them, 4, get the data. There's a ton of good information that you can gather at that stage, get that into your system and digitize so that you can use it for understanding customer demographics, marketing, all that kind of stuff. And that's just, I think, the tip of the iceberg. Is the reasons why we wanted to do that. I mean, it's good customer demographic information. So I think there's a couple pieces, right? So especially on a day river trip, a multi-day trip, something where someone's going for a week and they spent, $3,000 a person or whatever, giving you their address and a bunch of other stuff doesn't feel weird. But when someone signed up for a 2-hour afternoon float, giving you some of that addresses and that kind of information can be strange or feel strange to them. So, but when you're filling out a legal document, that's not strange. And so it gives you a good opportunity to collect that data in a way that doesn't feel intrusive. But once you have it, it's really useful because you can understand age demographics, gender demographics, and geography, where people are coming from, which then helps you in your marketing endeavors going forward to understand who your core clients are, who you should be marketing to, and everything else. It's really valuable. WaiverSign was the first digital program that we used. And honestly, I think we probably heard through Resmark and the connection with Resmark, because we were Resmark clients for a long time. But it was just a natural, we'd been sort of thinking about it, and then Resmark came out with a solution. Oh, well, this is perfect. This is the best one on the market anyway, now that they're out. So we're just going to use that. It's really the flow of it, the customer flow through the process is really smooth, really easy. It's easy to manage. The stuff is stored well. The format that it's stored, it is not corruptible. It is not editable. It's stored securely, so you're not worried about, the people's data being breached or anything else. But from us, it was just the flow of it. It was designed with our kind of customer in mind. And it's really easy. Customers found it friendly. They can do it on mobile devices, tablets, desktops, doesn't matter. It works well. What I found about it is it's one of those things I don't need to think about it because it just works. And it works how you think it should work. And so it's easy. Super easy. I think from my understanding, you can send them your documents and they'll put them in and format them. And, because lawyers, it's not just what it said, but it's how it's said in those documents that matters. This has to be bolded and underlined and this can't be, and all that nonsense. And so you can send it to them. I think I probably did it, and it probably, took 15 minutes or something. It wasn't that rocket science. I like our actual waivers, sure, but the digital format of the waivers, we have received feedback, and it's always been positive. People really thought it was easy, smooth, they preferred that to the handwritten things, all that kind of stuff. It's the best in the industry. You're not with some giant corporation that's a subsidiary of a subsidiary of a subsidiary. You've got a team of people who, if you get onto support, they probably know who you are, probably know you as a client at least, and kind of what your needs are. They get back to you really quickly. you're talking to somebody who understands the industry, understands the urgency, all that kind of stuff. And it's a small team, but their response times are awesome. And yeah, they're great. Like, it's probably, the software is great. The support team is the best part. I think I would say one, like, usually for me, it seems like I would assume it's people that are more, do I want to go to a digital waiver or stick with paper? And it's like, honestly, the digital waiver thing in the long run, with how expensive printing forms, like printing stuff is now these days, and then storing it and everything else, it's cheaper to go digital. Like, it's just cheaper, easier. You get better data, all of that kind of stuff.